So this is part 2 of modeling the bumper for our 69 Charger. If I press 3, you can see that it smooths out very nice. However, we need to add a certain level of thickness to it. So I'll press Control E and move it out like this. Okay, and I'll go to the object mode. And now, if I go into my side view, I'll press F, and I'll press 4. I'll move these vertices to the right, and I'm going to bevel this bottom edge here. So let's go into the perspective. Let's hold Control to deselect those edges. And in my side view, I'm going to bevel that. So let's go to Edit Mesh, Bevel, and that looks pretty nice. The fraction changes the width of the bevel, and then the segments allows me to smooth it out. So what I'm going to do is move that vertex back that way a little bit more, and then I'll bevel it again. So Edit Mesh, Bevel, and then I'll add 9 segments to it. Okay, the only issue with beveling this and then like pressing 3 is that we have this really nasty N-gon that goes all the way across there. So I'll press Control 1 to isolate that, and what I can do is simply just back up a few steps. Maybe I will just add, let's do 3 segments, and the reason why I'm going to do 3 segments is because it's easier for me to turn this into a quad. So let's do that. I'll hold Shift, right mouse click and hold, insert edge loop tool. I'll put an edge loop here. I'll go into the multi-cut tool. So Mesh Tools, Multi-Cut. Click on that guy, go across, click here. Okay, same thing for the back side of this. Now what would have made my life 1,000 times easier is if I did this step first. However, I couldn't bevel that edge, so I think I'm cool. Let's do one more edge loop going vertical. So let's put one right here, and then I will add an edge loop right here, and I'll use the multi-cut tool to go from here to here. Press Enter. I'll go there to there, Enter, and then from here, that point to there. And then we need to add maybe one more point there. I'll go there, one here, one there. I'll click right there, and let's add another edge loop. Aki. Multi-cut. Let's go there and there. And then I'll bring this guy straight up. But before I do that, I think it'd be easier if I use the insert edge loop tool right here, and then multi-cut tool from this point to that point. Press enter. Okay. So let's take this guy, bring him all the way down here. Take this point, click here, and then go there. That point, click here, go there. Take this point, click on that edge, and we're forming a quad. Now you're probably wondering why are quads so important. Well, if you remember what this looked like earlier before we pressed 3, or after we pressed 3, it looked really bad. So now this corner, let's go into component mode. This corner is going to look much nicer, less poly count, and I get what I was going for when I press 3. So there you go, nice rounded edge. And I need to add another insert edge loop tool right here.
Teachers, it is now 11:30. Tutoring and lunchtime projects are over. Please have your students exit the building and go directly to lunch. Thank you.
Okay, so I'm going to select that face, hold shift, select these guys, delete, and now I'm going to select this edge, go all the way around, hold shift, double click that one, and before I move on, I actually want to delete, no, I'll keep that face there. I'll go to bevel, hold shift, right mouse click and hold, bevel. Now this bevel is actually a really, really small bevel, and that's as wide as I can go before it starts to go through that geometry right here. And if I change the fractions, press 3 on that, this edge is extremely sharp, and I'm not for sure if that's what this edge looks like. Maybe it does look like that, I don't know. Let me zoom in a little bit closer. It looks relatively sharp, but I think it's also a little bit smoother than that. So I'm gonna press Z to undo, adding the bevel, and probably better that I use an insert edge loop tool, and I'll put one right there and one right here. So now when you press 3, it's still a relatively like sharp edge, but it does look a little bit smoother. If you wanted that to not be as smooth, then you can simply double click on this edge, hold shift, right mouse click and hold, go to slide edge tool, and then drag it down so that it is further away from the edge. And then when you press 3, it appears to be a little bit smoother. And yeah, that's that. Now the last part of this tutorial is to create these vertical lines. I think it's probably going to be the easiest part of this tutorial, so I'll try not to take up too much time, and let's get started. I'll hold spacebar, click on Maya, go to back view, and I'll press 4 to look at that shape. Okay, so we're trying to model this guy, and if I press 5, I'm simply going to use the faces that are already on top of this geometry that kind of like correspond with this shape. So I'll click on that guy, and then if I go to this view, I'm simply going to hold shift, click a few more, these faces are over that. Now, if your faces aren't as perfect as this, then it's fine. You can always adjust it later. I'm gonna go to mesh, edit mesh, duplicate, and now I've duplicated that. So I go to object mode, click on this guy, modify center pivot, and I'll turn the wireframe on shaded on. Okay. So we'll take these two vertices, press R, and then if I press 4, we're going to scale them closer together, like that. And I'll move it down like that. Move this guy inward. Move this one down and inward right there. Okay. And then I'll take these two vertices, move them up to about that point. And this is what we have. Right. Next thing I'll do is I'll select that edge, go into my back view, and I'll drag it down. Take that edge and I'll also drag it down. Okay. So I want to create this same like shape here, down there kind of. So if I press Control E, move it this way, bring it right there, and then let's look at it from my back view. Let's move it up a little bit. And then I'll press Control E, I'll press W, and I'll move it straight back. And then we'll add another edge loop tool right in the center here. I'll press W and kind of get this natural curve. Okay. Now the fun part, we're going to extrude, move it out like this, and then I'm going to change the offset to scale it inward. So I'll change that offset to 0.1. Let's try 0.05, 0.09, 0.02. Here we go. 0.02 looks really good. And again, I'll just look at the reference image. It seems to be out really far. So I'll extrude it again. And then let's change the offset to 0.02. Let's try 0.03. Okay. And then I'll press 3. And that is our shape. Okay, so let me select this face right there and I'll delete it. What else do I see? I think this shape needs to go up. So I'll hold W, left mouse click and hold, go to world, and I'll put it right there. And in this particular image plane, I can see that there is a little bit of an indentation right here, like in this geometry. So just to add that level of like detail, I'll hold shift, right mouse click and hold, go to insert edge loop tool. I'll add an edge loop right there. I'll add one more right here, one there. And let's go into our perspective. Okay. So I'll take this face, Control E. I'll change the offset to like 0.05. And I'll take this shape, I'll hold shift, Control 1. And if I press T on this, it brings it back, so I'm going to change it to 0.01. So a little bit wider shape. I'm going to save this. And then I'm going to take this face and I'll press W and I'll move it back like this a little bit. And then I'll take that tiny little face here and press delete. And now I'm a little more inclined to take these vertices here and then push them back this way, maybe up a little bit more, like that. And then if I press 3 again, and then I press 3 on this object here, see there's a little bit of that kind of like indentation there. We could push it back further. Hold shift and maybe extrude. Delete that little face there. And if we wanted to get this to align a little bit better in there, we could do that. I'll press 1. And then I think that I'll add another edge loop to this guy right about here. I'll take that edge, I'll slide it over like that, and then I'll press 3 and perfect. I say perfect because I'm satisfied with it and there's nothing else that I can see I need to add to it, so it looks perfect. And I do believe that we are 99% finished with the rear tail lamp. Now, if we wanted to add, say, like that little bolt right there, we can simply go to create polygon, and then I'll use the polygon. Let's go to a polygon plane. There you are. I'll hold shift, and then in the attribute editor I'll increase the subdivision width and height to value of 2. I'll take this vertex here, go to edit mesh, chamber vertex, and make the width a little wider. I'll take these vertices here, press R, scale them down. And then when we press 3, it's kind of smooth. I'll make them even smoother. And you know what, better yet, I'm just going to take a polygon cube, hold shift, edit mesh. Let's go to mesh smooth. I'll select 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'll hold shift, press period to grow that selection. Actually, you know what? I'll just delete half of that. Makes it easier. I'll select all of these faces, press R, scale them flat. And then this is going to be our bolt. So if we press 3, it's smooth and round, and we press Control E. We'll move it out. Control E again, press R, scale it that way, and move it like this. And then I could select these 4 faces, deselect those guys, and then move these forward. Press R to scale it flat, press 3, and let's go to modify center pivot. I'll go into my back view, I'll hold V and snap it anywhere onto the rear bumper. I'll press R, scale it flat, or scale it smaller, press W, rotate it, press R to scale it down a little bit more, and then let's go into our perspective. I'll move this guy like that, move him over, Control D, and move it like that, and there we go. So alright, now I'm satisfied with what I have. Rear bumper is, it's about 95% complete. We still have to do the exhaust, and I think that's it. So once we do the exhaust, I think we'll knock out that little rear tail lamp, the turn signal, and we'll be finished. Alright guys, hope you enjoy this tutorial, and I'll see you in the next lesson.